Hey everyone, Mike Mulligan here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am a certified orientation and mobility specialist, and in today's video, I'm going to demonstrate how to both safely get in and out of a vehicle when using a white cane. All right, let's do this. So being able to get in and out of a vehicle safely is a really important orientation and mobility skill. So in this video, I'm going to demonstrate both how to get in and out safely. There's a few things I want to mention before I get started. And first is that there are so many different types of vehicles out there, right? There's cars, there's vans, there's trucks. So what I'm going to be showing you today is just an example of how to get into a vehicle. And I'm going to be using a four-door sedan as my demonstration. A lot of this will carry over to different vehicles as well, but I just want to make that make you aware that depending on the vehicle, things might change a little bit. And then I also want to mention there's a lot of different modifications to how you get in and out of a vehicle, depending on one's stability or one's ability to climb in and out of vehicles. So I just want to mention that, and I also recommend, if you can, meeting with an orientation mobility specialist to go over these skills to find out which modifications might be needed to make it a little bit easier to get in and out of a vehicle. All right, so now I'm going to start my demonstration, and I just want to mention one last thing is that at the end of this video, I'm going to give a little tip on how to find a door if you're being guided by somebody. So this is when you're not using a cane, somebody's guiding you to a door, something that guide can do to help make finding that door a little bit easier. All right, let's start the demonstration. All right, so now I'm going to start my demonstration here on how to enter a vehicle safely when using a white cane. So for this demonstration here, I have a white cane, and I also have a parked vehicle. It's blue, it's a four-door Subaru kind of hatchback sedan. So I'm going to demonstrate using this vehicle. So now I'm going to break it down into the steps needed for me to sit down in the front passenger seat. All right, so step one is to locate the vehicle. So hopefully the person you're with is kind of giving you an idea of where the vehicle is that you're going to be getting into. They might even be giving you more verbal feedback than that, telling you exactly where the door is that you're going to be entering. But if they're not, that's okay, because with the cane and some trailing, you can figure out exactly where you are when you find the vehicle. So step one is to find the vehicle, and I'm going to demonstrate finding the vehicle first with the white cane. So I'm going to be approaching the vehicle when using constant contact, and I'm going to be doing that until I find the vehicle. So my cane just hit the bottom of the vehicle, kind of slid underneath the vehicle. So now that I have found the vehicle, that's really the first step. So step number two, I like to bring my cane up vertical after I find the vehicle. That way I know exactly kind of where the edge of the vehicle is, and it just makes it a little bit easier to kind of negotiate or navigate around the vehicle. So once my cane is vertical, the next step, step three, is to find the door handle that you're looking to open for whatever seat you're looking to sit in, but for this example, I'm doing the passenger front seat. And to do that, there's several different things that can help. One is you need to figure out the orientation of the vehicle. So which side is the front of the vehicle, which side is the back of the vehicle, and this will really help you determine where you need to start looking for that handle. So a few different landmarks on a vehicle that can help include the side view mirrors. So the side view mirrors are towards the front of the vehicles, and they are normally right in front of the passenger front door or the driver front door. But that's a good indicator that you're towards the front of the vehicle. So if you're trailing along a car, you find the side view mirror, you know you're towards the front of the vehicle. If you come across the windshield wipers, you know you're towards the front of the vehicle. Some cars, they have a trunk that's pretty obvious it's a trunk, so you know you're going towards the back of the vehicle. So once you do that, I like to teach this as if you find the crack in between the front and the back door, so you've already kind of established where's the front and the back of the car. Once you find that crack, if you follow that crack down from the top of the vehicle down and then a little bit to the right underneath the window, that's where most handles are located on doors. That's just the way we open it because of the hinge. So if you find the crack between the two doors, the front and the back door, trace that down, go a little bit to the right, you should be able to find the handle. All right, so now for the next step. Once you find the handle, you want to first clear, make sure there's nothing in the way that's going to hinder your opening the door and starting your process of getting in the vehicle. And by this point, you probably have an idea if there's already something in the way, but if not, it's good to check a little bit more with your cane to see if there's anything that might be an obstacle in you opening the door safely. So now we can start the process. So I like to open the door using my right hand while holding the cane vertically in my left hand. And I'm gonna actually step behind where the door opens, so towards the back of the vehicle to open it. Because if you're standing right next to where the door opens, it gets really awkward. So step behind the crack of where the door opens. You're gonna actually face the car. And so you're towards the back of the vehicle. And once I do that, then I'd turn forward. So I'm facing the front of the vehicle. And then I begin my process of opening the car door. So I'm doing that with my right hand. I'm opening the car door. My left hand is still holding the cane vertical. So I'm opening the door with my right hand. Okay, so now that I've opened the door with my right hand and holding the cane in my left, I can go on to the next step. And what I like to do is take a few steps forward towards where the hinge of the door and the car meet. That way, the seat that I'm looking to sit down in is right by my left side. That way I'm just lined up a little bit better to get into the seat. So now that I've done that, the next step is to determine where the top of the car is so I don't hit my head when I'm trying to sit down. So to do that, you can either use your cane if it's long enough and just kind of feel to the left here until you feel the top, or you can do an upper protective with your left hand, but that would require you to switch the cane to the right hand, which is fine, and then feel with your left hand the top of the car. So that's what I like to do, upper protective with my left hand, feel the top of the car, switch the cane to my right hand once I'm up towards the hinge of the door and the vehicle. So now the next step is to start the process of sitting down. But before that, this is key, you want to check the seat, make sure there's nothing on it. A lot of times people leave things there and you don't want to sit down on something or someone. So when you're here, upper protective, reach down, I'm checking the seat, making sure there's nothing there, and it's all clear. So now that the seat is all clear, I can proceed to sit down. And what I like to do is I like to take a step in with my left foot first. And this will depend on the person, on exactly how you want your feet to go in. Some people like to sit down with both legs out of the car and then swing both legs in, or take one foot in at a time. So I'm going to be doing one foot in at a time. So I have my left foot in, and then I'm going to begin the process of sitting down. So when I'm sitting down, the main thing I'm concerned with here is bumping my head on the top of the vehicle. So I like to keep my hand actually on that the whole time I'm sitting down. But if that's not doable for you, you can also just let go of that and find the seat and just make sure your head is clear. But I would recommend, if you can, just keep your hand on that top of the car so you know exactly where that is at all times. So once I've established that, I have my left foot into the car, my right foot is still out, cane is in the right hand, left hand is on the top of the vehicle, I'll begin to sit down. So when I'm sitting down, that is when I will be bringing my right foot into the vehicle. So now I am seated. But one thing here is I still have my cane outside the vehicle and the door is open. So there's a few different things you can do here. If you have a folding cane, this is a good time to fold up the cane and place it underneath your seat. If you don't have a folding cane, you can work on sticking the cane in the vehicle. So I like to put the handle in first and then towards the back of me along my right side, and then my tip of the cane towards my right foot. So this is important, that the cane should always be on your right side. If it's on the left side, then there's the chance it might be kind of bothering the driver or actually hit the driver. So keep it on your right side keeps it safe and also ready to go when it's time to exit the vehicle. And then finally, once you've got your cane set up on the right, either folded or by your side, you can then reach out with your right hand to grab the door and close the door, and then you could put on your seatbelt. So I'm closing the door now, and now I can put on my seatbelt. So this is really just kind of the basic steps and how to enter a vehicle safely. It's also going to depend on if you need modifications or it's a different type of vehicle. But this process will work for most vehicles and most people find to be pretty helpful and effective. All right, so now I'm going to demonstrate how to exit the vehicle safely after you reach your destination or you're just looking to get out. So again, you're going to open the door with your right hand. So right now I'm opening the door. So the door is opening. And then the next thing you want to do is get your cane ready. So if it was folded, you could unfold it by putting it out the door and unfolding it. Or if it wasn't folded, you can just bring it out of the vehicle. So right now the cane is actually outside the vehicle. I'm holding it with my right hand. And this part is important. It's important to give a quick sweep because there might be a parking meter, there might be a tree, there might be a pothole, a curb, some sort of obstacle. So you want to clear that and make sure it's clear before you even get out. So once you've cleared, you can put the cane up vertical. So right now the cane is up vertical in my right hand. And for this next step, I like to use my left hand to find the top of the vehicle again, like I did on getting in. That way I know when I step out, I won't be hitting my head on the top of the vehicle. Sometimes you can also use the handle. So the handle is kind of in about the same spot, and that will also give you some leverage to help you out. But you can either do either one. So for this example, I'm just going to hold kind of the top of the vehicle. And then I'm going to swing one leg out. So I'm swinging my right leg out of the vehicle. And then what I like to do is swing another leg out of the vehicle. So both legs are facing forward. And I have both legs out. Both my feet are on the ground. Still seated in the seat. My hand is on the top of the vehicle. Cane is in the right hand vertical. And then I'm going to stand up. So I have cleared it. I know it's safe to stand up. I held the top of the vehicle so I didn't hit my head when I came out. So after I've done that, I'm going to locate the door with my left hand because that's the hand I'm going to use to close the door now that I'm exiting the vehicle. So find the door with my left hand. It helps to take a step or two to the right past where the joint of the two doors is so you don't get hit in the door when you're closing it. And I'm going to start closing the door. So I've closed the door now with my left hand. My cane is out and ready to go for wherever my next destination might be. All right, now it's time for my little tip for those who are being guided by somebody. So you're holding on to somebody, you're not using your cane. And one thing the guide can do that I find really helpful is when they're guiding you, whatever arm they're guiding you with, so if they're guiding with you with their right arm, they can bring their right arm up to the handle and actually touch the handle. And once they do that, you can trace their arm down to the handle. That way you locate the handle fairly easily. You're not kind of looking around all over the side of the car to find it. But if you're being guided by somebody, have them use the same arm that's guiding you. They take that arm, put it on the door handle, you trace their arm down to the door handle, and that'll make it a lot easier to find the handle. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this video demonstration was helpful on learning how to get in and out of a vehicle safely with a white cane. So if you're feeling up for it, please subscribe to my channel, click that little bell icon, and you'll be alerted when a new video becomes available. And have a wonderful day.